he wrote a love song for his newborn baby. 3 months after he died, it became #1 in America. When people finally heard it, every single word sounded like he knew exactly what was coming. September 1971, Jim Croce held his son for the first time. Little AJ was tiny, perfect, and Jim was terrified because he knew the truth that was eating him alive. He was never home. The music career he'd fought so hard for demanded everything. The road kept calling him away from moments exactly like this one. So that night, he sat down with his guitar and wrote something different, something that came from a deeper place. If I could save time in a bottle. The melody was gentle like a lullaby. The words were a father's impossible wish to somehow bottle up these precious moments, to make the days last forever, to stop the clock that kept pulling him away from his son. His wife Ingrid later said, "It was a prayer more than a song." But here's what most people don't know about Jim Croce. Before the fame, before the hit songs, he lived the exact hard life he would later sing about. For years, he hauled lumber to pay the bills. He drove trucks across endless highways. He taught classes at small colleges. Messages, anything to keep the lights on while chasing a dream that nobody seemed to want. Night after night, he played in smoky bars where drunks talked over his songs like they weren't even there. He'd pack up his guitar at 2 o'clock in the morning, drive home alone through empty streets, wondering if any of it would ever matter, if anyone would ever hear what he was trying to say. Every song I write is like a little movie, only mine end in diners and bars instead of sunsets. His songs were filled with the characters America would later fall in love with. Dreamers sitting in dive bars, hustlers with bad reputations, telephone operators connecting desperate calls, ordinary people living fragile lives just trying to make it through. He wrote about the world he knew, the world he lived. Then, in 1972, after all those years of struggling, lightning finally struck. You Don't Mess Around with Jim hit the radio like a warm breeze through a cold life. America recognized something real in him, that lived in poetry of a man who'd seen the hard parts and still found something beautiful to sing out. Operator, That's Not the Way It Feels broke hearts across the country. Bad, Bad Leroy Brown made every jukebox in every small town roar. For the first time in his life, Jim Croce wasn't just surviving, he was soaring. But here's the cruel irony. Fame didn't feel like he thought it would. More success meant more stages. More stages meant more motel rooms. More fans meant less time with Ingrid and little AJ. He was missing his son's childhood for 3-minute songs. From the road, he wrote home letters. "I'm so tired of being away from you and the boy. When this tour ends, I'm coming home for good." He was 30 years old and finally ready to walk away. Ready to trade the spotlight, the applause, all of it for something more important, time with the people he loved. Just one more tour to finish the contracts, then home, then peace, then time. Finally, enough time. September 20th, 1973, Natchitoches, Louisiana. Jim had just finished playing a concert at Northwestern State University. The crowd had loved him. He was exhausted but satisfied thinking about home. Just a few more shows, then back to Ingrid and AJ for good. He boarded a small charter plane with 5 others, including his guitarist Maury Muhlenheisen, their road manager and the pilot. Minutes after takeoff, in the darkness, the plane struck a pecan tree. It fell from the sky. Everyone aboard was killed instantly. A silence followed that no radio could fill. The man who'd finally found his voice was gone. But here's where the story takes a turn that still gives people chills. Time in a Bottle had been recorded a year earlier, back in 1972, but it was never released as a single. It just sat there quietly on an album, overshadowed by his louder, catchier hits. After Jim died, A television movie director chose the song for a film. Radio stations started playing it, and suddenly people heard the lyrics in a completely different way. If I could save time in a bottle, if I could make days last forever, if words could make wishes come true. 3 months after Jim Croce's death in December 1973, Time in a Bottle, the lullaby he wrote for his newborn son, reached #1 in America. The father's wish for more time became everyone's anthem for loss. The song he wrote hoping to capture with his boy became a reminder to everyone who'd ever lost someone too soon. The lyrics, once a tender lullaby, now sounded like prophecy, like Jim somehow knew his time was running out.